Hi YouTube, it's Jenny Pooh 6043. Today is Sunday, July 12th, July 15th, 2012. I don't know why I can never get the date right. But anyhow, I saw another blog, I think it was titled from 2012. I forgot the dancer's name. And she blogged about 10 things about her lap band. And it kind of just inspired me to do a hopefully quick video, just a quick rundown of certain bandster terms or things that I did not expect that I don't really feel that I was told about before my surgery. So one of the things I want to talk about is bandster hell. Bandster hell is the time between when you get your band and before you get your first feel. Like for me, the first 3 weeks after, well, 2 weeks before and a week or so after I got my band, I had no appetite. But when that bad boy came back, woo! And I wanted to eat everything in sight. But the one thing that saved me during bandster hell was I was afraid to eat stuff. Like, I was freaked out. Like, my biggest fear was that I would somehow make my band slip, or that because I knew I was in the healing phase, that I would eat something and have to throw up and just have to go back to surgery. So the fear of that happening kept me from cheating and, you know what I'm saying, eating stuff that I wasn't supposed to eat. I'm not saying that everybody else does that, but that's what kept me towing the line. And you will get through it. Is something that mostly all bandsters go through. Another point I wanted to talk about was restriction. When I was banded, I thought in my mind that restriction meant I could eat like 2 bites of something and be like, oh my God, I'm going to throw up if I eat another bite. Well, that's not restriction. Restriction really is, of course, you be eating smaller portions of whatever it is that you're eating. But also, it's about satiety, if that's the correct word, but about being satiated and the feeling of hunger not being there for longer periods of time. So you should be able to go at least 4 to 5 hours without being hungry and being able to eat smaller portions and be losing maybe about 1 to 2 pounds a week. So that's when you're really in the green zone and you have good restriction. The tricky thing about restriction, which I did not know, and now I do know, is that it can change from day to day. You can get a feel and be just chugging along, and then 2 weeks later, bam, you hit a wall, and you're like, oh my God, I'm getting stuck on everything. I don't really understand why sometimes it takes a feel that long to kick in. I don't really get that, but it happens. So, and even with restriction can change from day to day, not just with the feel. So many things affect my band. Again, me. That time of the month affects my band, makes it tighter. The weather, when it's hot, I think makes it tighter. When I'm stressed, that makes it tighter. Riding in the car for long periods of time makes it tighter. I have flown, and I don't really think it affected me. I've heard some bandsters say, depending on what part of the country, like if they go to Colorado because of the altitude, that they actually have some fluid taken out their band because it becomes too tight. So I really don't plan on going to Colorado anytime soon. But hopefully I don't, if I do, because I do like to travel. So hopefully if I go out the country, that won't happen. And because that will be just like horrendous. But maybe I should go on lap band talk and ask people about going to like islands and stuff, because I don't know if they have lap band doctors over there, and I'm not really trying to get that done. But anyway, other things I wanted to talk about were things like sliming. Some people just don't do it. I do. Sliming is like if you take a bite of food that's too big, and usually you'll know immediately. It's like within seconds. It's like, this is not going to be good. So you can try me. I've tried things like when I get stuck, I walk around. Sometimes it helps, and sometimes it just doesn't. It's just not going down. So I end up going to the bathroom, and this is going to be kind of gross, but you end up spitting like all this thick, frothy spit, and that's just what it is. And the reason your body is doing that is because it senses, the stomach senses that you have that food and is waiting for it. So it's producing all this saliva and trying to get ready to digest it, but it's kind of just hanging there, not going anywhere. So hence you have all this saliva backed up on the other side of the food. So for me personally, I have variations of stuck. I have stuck meaning if I just wait a minute, if I just hold my breath, it's gonna really hurt and it'll go down. That's one version. I have another version of being stuck, meaning if I can get up and walk around and kind of pat my chest, it'll go down. And then the third one is it ain't going nowhere. I'm going to have to bring it back up. Don't like to do that a lot. and sometimes I get impatient and don't want to wait, and I end up bringing stuff back up. I'm not trying to advocate vomiting by any means, but sometimes you got to do it. So I think that's, again, another fear of mine, that I'll get my band slipped by doing that, but I don't really think that happens too often. And the big cure for that is, the thing about being stuck and sliming and PBing and all that stuff is it's self-inflicted. It's really 9 times out of 10 because you didn't chew something enough. So it's self-inflicted, right? Trying to think of anything else that I can think of that would go in this category. I'm sure I'll think of something else, but that's about it for right now. So I'll check in with you guys later. This seems to be, I feel like I'm back in my green zone, and I'm not throwing up. I'm not getting, I know my band's there because it's really, my appetite's really suppressed. It took me, I think, like 5 hours today to get hungry. And I'm just like, I was going to go to the gym. I was like, no, you need to go eat something before you pass out. So another battle I'm having within myself, and I don't know if anybody else has dealt with this, is I'm trying to figure out, because I've always been taught, only eat when you're hungry, only eat when you're hungry, even before my band. But then I got into weight training and stuff, and with the trainer, it was like, you want to boost your metabolism, and you need to eat, every 3 to 4 hours or whatever. So, like, at least snack on something to keep your metabolism burning. So, as a bandster, I'm really struggling with that. Like, as a bandster, I was told to eat when you're hungry, mostly 3 meals a day, and try not to snack. But then I buy into the whole premise of keeping your metabolism burning. So I'm really interested if there's anybody else out there that struggle with this and kind of what you guys do with it. I'm kind of in between both of them, both ways. But I'm really interested if anybody else battles with this and what their thoughts are on it. I'm going to actually go on Let Band Talk and blog it too and see what happens with that. So just thoughts on my mind today. So, and also I burp way more. I never was a burper. I burp way more, and I have, when I'm too tight, me personally, I know I was about to stop the video, but wait. Me personally, when I'm too tight, if I swallow liquid or something, I can literally hear it gurgling in my chest. It's the most annoying thing, and just recently I was too tight, and I drank something, and someone was standing by me, and they heard it. I was so embarrassed. It's like, I can't stop it. I had to explain to them, like, what it was and why my chest was gurgling. So embarrassing. So if I'm too tight, I really try to stay away from people if I eat something, because it's just embarrassing. But anyway, all right, I've rambled on long enough. I'll check in with you guys later. All right, bye.